Annunciationes classis Latina, capitulum sextum, ViaLatina. Precatio incipiens. In nomine Patris, et Filii, et Spiritus Sancti. Amen.
Amen.
Ave Maria, gratia plena, Dominus tecum, benedicta tu in mulieribus, et benedictus fructus ventris tui, Iesus. Sancta Maria, Mater Dei, ora pro nobis peccatoribus, nunc et in hora mortis nostrae. Amen. And now that I think about it, is there any particular prayer folks might want to see during this Lenten season? I have the Latin version of the Stations of the Cross. I have a bunch of litanies. I don't know, it might be nice to go through something like that during Lent. Any suggestions? Don't all speak. Don't all speak at once. Prayers for the dead. Yes, there's a very simple and couple excellent prayers for the dead. I will consider that.
Yeah, I like the Station of the Cross.
Station of the Cross. Yeah, the only difficulty with the stations is, well, here, I'll tell you what, let me do this. Let me add, okay, well, give me just a moment here. Just a minute here. Oh, for Pete's sakes. Hold on. For some reason or other, there. Let me collapse that. Let me add this to the sharing. All right. It's interesting that it always goes to the last one. Let's do this. There's a number, there's the Litania in Quadragesima, which is litany for the Lenten season.
Oh,
Kind of long. Here, I'll go ahead and post the URL in. There we go. The other one is okay. We said now this is the Way of the Cross, which essentially we recite this at Annunciation. We do it in English, of course, but this is the Latin, in case you're interested. It's probably a bit above where we are now, but hey, you know, this, and I have the English, of course. So let's see what else. Let's see here. Actually, I have a couple ways of the cross. There is the Libera. Yeah. Okay, from the Roman Missal. Ooh, we could do that one. That one's short, and it's not too difficult to follow. All right, I will add some in, and we'll maybe work on that. There's, by the way, there's the Little Office of the Seven Sorrows of the Blessed Virgin Mary, which is not short. But anyway, yeah, I have a fair amount of stuff on my website. So, all right, there we go. So with that in mind, hold on just a second. Let me get rid of that straight page. There we go. All right. We finished section 1. Let's see here. Just to review, I'll read this section as a review, just to set the tone. Julius solus non est, nam quator servi apud eum sunt. Quator servi, Julius, in lectica. Medus non est apud Dominum, nam is Dominum iratum timet. For he fears an angry master. Medus est malus servus. Actually, let me zoom this in a bit. There we go. How's that? Medus est malus servis. Sorry. Medus est malus servus, qui numos Domini in saculo suo habet. Dominus servos malos baculo verberat. Itaque servi mali dominum et baculum eius timent. And so bad servants fear. Uh, you can kind of think of timeo, tement, or timet and timeo. Sorry. Timeo is first person singular. Timet and tement as like timid, afraid. Keep it straight. Anyway, servi mali dominum et baculum eius. Oh, did I resume recording? Let's see. Am I actually recording at the moment? I don't think so. Oh, yes, I am. Good. I am recording. Where was I? Davus autem bonus servus est, neque is medum amat. Davus, however, is a good servant, and let's see, and he does not like medum. Now they use amat here. Amo, amat, amamus, amata, samantam. That generally, I want to make a, well, let me switch here. Oh, to the slides because I want to make a comment. Let's see here. We were there. Uh, oh, okay.
What would be a good or a better verb here?
Yeah, amat. If you look it up, amo, that's first person, but we'll know it is amat.
You went something like fond
Amat
instead of
and amant. That does mean love, but like the English word love, like I say, I love ice cream, or I love the Latin Mass, or whatever. That you really are saying you like it. Okay. But in English, we're kind of sloppy with the word. And amo and amant, usually in ecclesiastical Latin, means what's the word I want? As in eros, as opposed to agape. Delicto, let me make sure I spelled that right. I just got my garden in today and I am not all to. Whoop. Hold on. Let's do it this way. Give me just a second here. Okay. There.
What about what about similis?
No, delicto is what I am looking for.
Okay.
Hold on just a second.
What do
Make
you,
sure I spell it right.
okay.
No, that's not right. Delicto. There we go. Boy, I can't spell it at all. Yeah.
delecto or delicto.
No, you don't want actually you don't want that E in there. Give me just a second here. I'll find out where it is hiding. Okay, there we go. Where is it? Wow, I am having a bad day for this. Okay. Hold on. There. Oh, okay, there we go. So delicto, delecto, delict, delictus. Okay, where is, oh, diligo. Is that what I want? Hold on. No, that's not what I want. Because I want delixio. Oh, maybe it is from diligo. Hold on. Oops. Ah, it is delict. Okay. Dili- But there we go. That is a better word.
Diligere.
Yeah, for a this is what Jerome uses for love, as in love thy neighbor. Okay. Um uh so you will see the amo amant used as in the I love ice cream, but it is also used for uh, more eros, whereas diligunt is more for the, let's put that in there, love, agape. There we go. Whoops. Can't type in multiple languages there. So, yeah, it's,
Diligere is more akin to agape love.
I'm sorry, what?
You're saying that diligere
Yeah,
is
yes.
is more akin to agape love than eros love.
Right, right.
Okay.
Now, that's not strictly true. I mean, you will see amo used in places where, or amare, you will see it used in places where it really does not mean eros. It means agape or affection. So it can be either one. And but if usually it is more likely to be related to eros. Love like philanthropy, I would say diligo or diligent is what I have up there. Yeah. Because that means to to value, to esteem, to hold dear. Uh, the as I said, Jerome in the Ten Commandment, or well, in the sorry, in the commandment that Jesus leaves, to love your neighbor as yourself. He uses diligo there, diligent, diligunt. So just be aware of it.
Well,
So
there,
you would,
there's
if
a
you were
certain
sending it, let me put it this way: if I were sending my wife a Valentine, I would use amo. Um, if I were saying a ice cream or a friend, I would use diligo. Let me put the there.
there's a certain irony about this, and that is that it's saying that Davus neque is medum amat.
Yeah.
And and the irony is at the end of this story, we we learn how Matus feels about Lydia.
Yes.
And and so there's I think a serious disconnect.
Yeah. There. Let's see. Is it?
That's a little before that.
Let's see. Whoops. Too far. Oh, there it is. Oh no, that's not the
No,
word.
no, a little before that.
Ave amic. Made us saute. Pulsat Lydia medius intrat salutat.
Now go up to about 78 or 79. Natus
Uh,
Lydium amat et ab ea
yeah,
amator.
amatur. Yeah, now
That's appropriate.
that is appropriate. Yes, that really does mean the more eros than the agape, like as Ariana says,
And
the philanthropic, or the what's the platonic, that's the other word I wanted. So
clearly, you're talking about two different kinds of.
well, that's why I'm saying amo, amare, amas, etc. can mean that. But if I drop my dictionary in here, which of course I don't have, uh, yeah, here
Maybe
we
they
go.
just didn't want to introduce the diligent.
He was probably, yeah. I mean, I do not want to say it doesn't mean that, but just okay. Here, let me add my dictionary here. Okay, we have dictionary. There we go. Whoops. Somehow hold on. Okay, wait a minute. That one. Hold on. That one, and that one. There we go. Let's see what I pop up with. Of course. I can never guess which one it's going to come up with. Come on. Come on. There we go. Can you see the dictionary? It's black on white. I can switch.
Yes. Yes, we see it.
See, to love from inclination or passion. Diligo or diligere is to love from esteem. Okay. And
There
what
you
they
go.
mean by that is a more intellectual love, whereas the amo is for inclination or passion. And you can go down there and read the Lewis and Short. This is the whoops. This is the Cassell version, and then this is the Lewis and Short version, of which there is quite a bit. So it can be used that way. But you will generally find that ecclesiastical Latin prefers the diligo over the amo for that reason. So yeah, yes, to lust was
Oh no.
another way of putting it. So
They can't Amat also mean, we had it in the previous chapter as well, and I got the sense it was more like to be pleased with someone. Although it can mean what you're saying too.
did we? I don't remember.
Like Julius was pleased. Yeah, Julius and Amelia. He was pleased with her, but it seemed like
Oh,
it was more like he's
probably
pleased with.
wasn't pleased. Oh, hold on. You said the previous chapter. Okay. Whoops.
Yeah, sorry. It was more like he was pleased with how she's running the villa, kind of thing. She was doing a good job running the villa.
Was she well, he
I thought.
wasn't there in
Well,
the
she's
villa.
also a pulchra, a feminine pulchra, which
Yeah,
is why
see,
he
she
loved her so
wasn't there in
much.
okay, because he wasn't there in the villa at Hortus. Was it this chapter? Or was it
Yeah, it might have been 2 chapters back, actually.
okay, I'll do this. Go all the way back to the beginning and put in Amat. And yeah, Julius Emiliam amat, quia ea pulchra et bona femina est. Julium virum suum amat, et cum eo habitat. No, this means love as in the as in married
Marital
sense,
sense.
marital
Yeah.
sense, yeah. Pater et mater liberos suos. Well, okay, now you're right. There they do the mother and father love their children. So, yeah, okay. They're
When they're behaving.
yeah, when they're behaving. So maybe you're right. I'm just saying in ecclesiastical Latin, you tend to go with the diliger, diligo, etc.
Yeah, for
As
some
opposed
reason, they just don't want to introduce it
so well,
at this point, anyway.
yeah, they probably don't want to. I don't know. Do we have let me see if we have diligo in. Let's see, it's Diligo. Oh, here we go. Oh boy, which chapter is this? Oh, chapter 20. Tu sei Emilia, Julia dice sei patro
There
suo.
we go. Amare ut
Oh
parentes.
boy.
Look off to the right. It says Amare ut parentes liberos nusuos.
Yeah.
So I guess he just didn't want to introduce it in that previous chapter. But right here, they're suggesting that diligere would be more appropriate for them
Yeah.
to use
Yep.
with regard to their children.
Yeah. So for those, um,
I guess it's just that
the,
we're further along in chapter 20, so they
yeah.
felt like they could introduce it there.
Well, and they probably wanted to keep it simple. So, what they're saying here is, as Alex is pointing out, is diligere, that's the to esteem, to like, to love in the generic or in the Platonic sense, equals amare, love, ut parentes liberos suos, like parents their children. So yeah, so he gets around to using that. So I will look up the love thy neighbor as thyself, the mandatum given on Holy Thursday. So that would be appropriate when I get a chance. But let's go back to the Via Latina. Let's see if I can find that. There we go. Okay. And where was I? Where were we here? So, yes. Ursum, nope. Whoops.
Yeah, you were.
Oh, here it is. Yeah. Whoop, wait a minute. Domino servos, Davus altum neque me. Oh, yeah, there it is. Davus amicus medi non est, nam servus bonus et servus malus non amici.
That's a general statement.
General statement. For a good servant is not a friend of a bad servant. Sed inimici sunt, but they are enemies. Medus est inimicus Davi. Ursus autem amicus Davi est. Ursus is a friend of Davus. And if you remember, we've had Davus before. I don't think we've seen Cyrus or Leander before, and there's Ursus. Yeah, I don't recall seeing those.
Yeah, Ursus and Davos better get along because if one drops it, the
Yeah.
other's going to have a hard time.
Well, and also if one drops the master,
Yeah,
not good. No, not good. Not good.
they both got to work together.
They got to work together. I'm surprised they don't have a four servant litter though, because that's really for short travels. Because the thing itself is pretty heavy, and then you have a human being in there, so you're probably carrying 80, 90 pounds each.
Well, Julius has got to weigh more than Amelia.
Definitely. So, but Amelia's not in there. So, anyway, okay, where were we? All right. Now we find out what happened to Medus. Wow, that's a long paragraph. There we go. That looks good. Would somebody care to take the first paragraph I've highlighted there?
I can read it.
Go right ahead.
Do you want what's highlighted or the one below it?
Just what's highlighted.
Okay. Medus abest a domino suo, estne in opido tusculo. Medus tusculi non est, neque Rome est medus, sed in ViaLatina inter Romanum est tusculum. Unde venet medus? Tusculo venet. Neque is ad vilam. Are those actually L's?
Yes.
Vilam Julii Juliit. Quo est medus? Romam it. Tusculum post est. Oh, sorry. Tusculum post eum est. Ante eum est Roma. Medus ViaLatina. Tusculo Romam ambulat.
All
So
right, we're going to
walking.
pause there. Yes, go ahead.
Question.
Mhm.
Are we now being introduced to the locative?
Yes,
Okay.
and the accusative and the ablative.
Well, but
You got them all.
you're right. We got them all, but this is the first time I think that we've been introduced.
I believe that's right. I
Okay.
believe you're right. Now, yeah, that's why I wanted to stop with that. Now, okay, I think most of this is okay. Medus apest ad domino suo. Medus is absent from his master. Op est, op is away or as opposed to ad est, which is present. You can think of op est as absent. Okay. Estne in oppido tuscolo. Now, this is okay too. You've had this before. We've had in Italia, in oppido, and on and on and on. Is he in the, well, really, Tusculum town? It might be the best literal translation of those. We would say the city of Tusculum.
Which is to be contrasted with, is he
Yeah.
in Tusculum?
Yeah, we'll get there. Medus Tusculi non est. Now, what happened here? Why is there a Tusculi there? Well, that is what Alex has been hinting at. That is what's known as the locative. It's not really a special case exactly like the ablative or the dative or the accusative or the nominative or the genitive or the vocative. The locative uses the genitive case. So where we would say medus is not in Tusculum, I mean, we would have to use, English has to use an in. This literally means medus is not of Tusculum, because that's the genitive. But that's not, well, I guess we could say it. Medus is not of Tusculum. That sounds kind of weird to the English ear. What it means is in Tusculum. Now, let's see. Hold on a second. Let me pick up my locative here. I think I got my locative. Where do I have the locative? All right, here, we'll do it this way. I will search for the locative. Okay. Where is the locative? There we go. Here we go. This is what I was looking for. Oh, close this. Come on, close. Close, go away.
It's odd to me that they don't say anything in the side margin about that.
Yeah, I'm trying to get rid of this silly window there. Okay. Let me make sure. Hold on here. Okay. Ablativus, accusativus, et locativus. Okay. For towns and other named places, there are three special cases or uses. And this has to be a named town, okay? Now, we've already seen non-towns, like in fluvio, in the river. We have seen, and that's because in takes the ablative when you mean in it. Into the river is the accusative, which would be in fluvium. But for now, let's just concentrate on towns.
Every time you talk about that, I remember your little Minecraft place.
Yes. Ablativus.
Dunking us in the river.
Yes, motion from a town is expressed in the ablative with without the use of the usual preposition. Julius Tusculo ad villam suam venit. Julius comes from Tusculo to his villa. The accusativus, motion towards a town, is expressed in the accusative. Why is that without became two words? There we go. Without the use of the usual preposition. So we don't say ad Tusculum. We say Cornelius Tusculum venit, meaning Cornelius comes or is coming to Tusculum. And then you can mix both. Cornelius, we wouldn't say ap Roma. We would say Cornelius Roma, the ablative, Tusculum in equo suo it. So Cornelius is going from Rome to Tusculum on his horse. And I realize this is probably a little mind-bending, and this is why we're going to take this chapter a little slower than we would normally. Now, what about the locative? For being in or at places, the locative is used. Now, the form of the locative is the genitive. Literally, so-and-so is of such and such a place. And we will sometimes say that, you know, I am of Houston. In English, that means that's where you live. So it's not totally foreign from English. A little weird, but not totally. So Julius, we don't say Julius in Tusculo est. We say Julius Tusculi est. Literally, Julius is of Tusculum. Vaticanus in Roma est. You don't say in Roma, but you say Vaticanus Rome est. The Vatican is of Rome, or better English, the Vatican is in Rome.
If you're using the genitive here, let's say that you are a native of Rome, but you're visiting Tusculum, would you still use it? Because you're actually saying you're coming out of Tusculum, not that you are of Tusculum, because I might be of Rome, but visiting Tusculum. Does that make sense?
Yeah, in English, that's where it breaks down. Because when we say you are of wherever, it means that's your home base. So yeah, if you were in Rome and you would say, I am of Rome in visiting Tusculum, you cannot use the genitive there. Okay.
Michael, I think they use the locative for habitat. If you say somebody lives in Rome,
yeah,
they
but
use
that's for being in or at places.
right. I'm just saying that other than est, habitat is a verb that they
Oh,
use
yes. Yeah, yeah.
connected with the locative.
Yeah, and we'll see that in a I think it's later in the chapter, if I remember correctly. So iam medus tusculi non est sed Rome. Oh, I'm giving it away. I think we saw enough of it that Medus is hot-footing it off to Rome. So anyway, it's only for places with proper names, cities, towns, and there's a couple of other nouns which we'll get to, like domus, household. But for now, just places and proper names. So if you're saying, I am in town, then you would have to say in Oppido. You would not use Oppidi. So let's see, I think the next one, yeah. So hopefully, well, let's read some more, and maybe this will become clearer. Let's see. So, okay, so Medus Tusculi non est. Medus is not in Tusculum, is what that means. neque Rome est medus, sed in via Latina inter Romam et Tusculam. So
The neque
medus,
Romae est medus is
yeah, hold on just a second. There we go. So medus Tusculi non est, neque Rome est medus. So medus is not in Tusculum, nor is he in Rome, but in Via Latina, inter Romam et Tusculum. And I believe inter is now new. Do we have an inter? No, I don't
yeah,
think
it's
we
in
have.
this chapter, in this story.
Yeah, I know, but I don't think we have an, I think that's a new word. Well, anyway, it is inter. Yeah, in fact, I know it's a new word because this is where we learn prepositions with accusative. So inter Romam et Tusculum means he is between Rome and Tusculum, like interstate between two states, intergalactic between two galaxies, interplanetary between planets. Let's see, what else do we have inter? We have a lot of them. So what we have here is the locative and then the locative. Unde venit medus? Where is, oh, sorry, from where, oh boy, from where comes medus? Tusculo venit. There's the ablative. He is coming from Tusculum. Neque is ad vilam Iuliit, nor is he going to the villa
Was
of
Julius
Julius.
oh,
Quo it medus? Romam it. So now we have the accusative. He is going to Rome. So we have, in this one paragraph, we have the locative and more locative and ablative saying he is coming from a place. And we have the accusative saying he is going to a place. So you got all three packed into this wonderful little paragraph, and hence my long and somewhat meandering explanation. And lastly, medus via Latina Tusculo Romam ambulat. So medus is walking from Tusculum to Rome
on
by the Via Latina. Ooh, they snuck in an ablative of instrument in there. Did they mention that in the Grammatica? Sorry, let me scooch forward here just a minute.
It's in the companion, but I don't know that it's in the Grammatica Latina.
Oh, I don't think they mentioned that. Okay, I'll have to explain what that is. I missed that when I read this originally. Hold on. Maybe I didn't. Oh, I'm sorry. I did. I put that in here. Hold on just a second. Oh, ablative. Oh, yes. Here we go. I did mention it. Okay. Passus ablativus. Now, we've seen the ablative with prepositions. Another use of the ablative, which is way more common, is the ablative indicates how a verb is being carried out. Well, what do I mean by that? Julius Marcum baculo verberat. Julius in casu nominativo, Marcum est in casu accusativo, Marcus Marcum, baculo est in casu ablativo. Sorry, ablativo. So what that means is when you have an instrument that the verb is being carried out, which in this case, verberat is beat, who's the subject, Julius, who's the painful direct object, Marcus. But how is he being beaten? He is being beaten with the baculum, or baculo in this case. Likewise, Dominus servos malus baculo verborat. So the master beats the bad slaves with the rod.
So with is understood.
So with here is understood. Now, you could, let's see, did I put this in here? No, I didn't. What I probably ought to do here, let me put a cum in here. And this will make more sense. Hold on, let me unbold it. We don't use the cum. All right, hold on. Format, font, strike through. If we were saying this in English, well, we'll do this in Latin English here. If we were going to say this and we didn't know about the ablativus instrumenti, or the instrument, instrument, the ablative of instrument, there we go. We would say Julius Marcum cum baculo verberat, right? And I think everybody would understand that. Cum takes the ablative, and you'd say, yes, Julius beats Marcus with the rod. Well, in Latin, they don't use the cum, okay? That cum is unnecessary and is not used. So maybe if I do this and strike through, there we go. So that cum is not needed, okay? And this gets us back to the cities. If we are going to Rome, we don't say ad Romam, we just say Romam, the accusative. And if we are coming from Rome, we don't say ap Roma, we just say the ablative Roma. And that's why this chapter is so much fun for English users, because I think this is the first instance, aside from word order, this is the first instance where the grammar really departs seriously, or the sentence structure, I should say, departs seriously from the English. So with that, are there any questions? And do please ask, because
Well,
you're going to see this all over the place. So you better try and understand it now.
Okay.
Go ahead, Alex.
Well, I just wanted to get you back to where you were, because it was the sentence "Medus via Latina Tusculo."
Oh, sorry. Yes. Excuse me. Yeah. Medus via Latina Tusculo Romam ambulat. So medus, what is this in? This is in the ablative, via Latina. Notice the macrons. So that's in the ablative. So medus is walking from Tusculum to Rome by means of the Via Latina. You can translate the ablative here as by means of. Okay, so we can go back to our here. Julius verberat Marcum baculo, meaning Julius is beating Marcus by means of his rod. Well, that sounds kind of strange, so we'll use the word with. So
it's not on the Via Latina. That's not how to translate it. It's by means of.
yes. You might say on the Via Latina because of English, but that's not a literal translation. It's really by means of.
Well, I suppose if it were on, then it actually should have in.
Then there should be an in. Yes.
Right.
So it's more like by way of.
Or by way of. Yeah,
Well,
that's even better, Jen. Yeah, by way of. I like that.
The point is that it has to be by way of or by means of and not on, because there is no preposition.
That is correct. For a strictly literal translation, that is correct. Yep. Yep. And via, by the way, also not only does it mean road, but it also means way, as W-A-Y. So now we've had the killer paragraph. Again, any questions?
It's a challenging one.
It is a challenging one. That's why I said 6 will be the fun chapter. And it's only 2 sections, and normally we could finish up the section and hit the Grammatica Latina next week and be done, but we're not going to do that. We're going to stretch it out a little bit.
Well, because we're learning so much more.
There is a lot. It's not complicated, but it's details,
It's a lot to absorb.
Yes. Yes. So
So is it
go ahead.
is it decline just like the genitive?
For the locative, it is. Yes.
Yeah, I meant for the locative, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what I meant.
So merus, okay, tusculum. What's the genitive form? Tusculi. So merus tusculi non est. Neque Rome est merus. So Roma, Rome, genitive. So yes, this is the genitive and that is the genitive. So that's why, that's why in the list of cases, if you go to any grammar, let's see what we're on page 43. All right, let me.
You always have to know the genitive.
Yeah, let's see here. Hold on, let me go to their tables. Oh yeah, here we go. Nope, that's verbs, numbers. Here we go. Notice they have nominative, accusative, genitive, dative, and ablative. I object to that order, but let's not get into that. Notice they do not have locative in here. And that's because the locative is not a case so much as it is a use. Okay? And anyway, the form of the locative in any case is, if you'll pardon the pun, the genitive. So that's why you're not going to see it in there on any of the tables. So,
But it's not the genitive though.
yeah, well,
Because
no,
when I
it
was
is.
reading
It is.
it on tutor, when I was reading it, I was like, "Oh, that's an interesting use of the genitive." I mean, it's kind of weird, but I
You
kind of
can
get it.
probably look at it both ways, Robert. You can think of it as the genitive. Whoops, too far. Whoops. Where are we here? Oh, no. Yep. There we go.
But
You
it's
can
such a
think of it
limited.
as, you can think of it as the genitive because it is the genitive, okay? But the meaning is not possession like we know the genitive, like baculum Julii, Julius's stick or rod, but so it does not indicate possession, which the genitive usually does. Rather, this is the genitive used in what's known as the locative use. Or you can say, no, that's not the genitive, that's the locative. It just happens to have the genitive form, whichever works in your own mind. Okay. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I was just because
Okay.
I've done like the old German uses genitive like crazy, and they'll use genitive in all these weird situations which it doesn't get used for anymore. So at first I thought that's what it was, that it was just using the genitive more liberally, but it's really locative, which is I guess it's really different.
Yeah, it is. It's you can think of as genitive is the ending, but the use or the way it is being employed is locative. So
Yeah, like in old German, instead of him, they'll say his in genitive,
oh
even though it's not possessive. It'll just kind of be they just pile it on everywhere. It's really weird. It takes some getting used to.
well
So it
this
seems it's kind of like that. You can
it's
think of
kind of
it either
like
way, like
that.
you said.
Yeah. So as I said, you can think
It's not really translatable.
Not literally.
No.
I mean, as I said, you could say Medus is not of Tusculum, which sort of borders on sense in English, kind of. I mean, you wouldn't say it that way. We would literally say Medus is not in Tusculum or Medum is not at Tusculum, maybe. Well, I guess we don't say at a city. You don't say I am at Houston. You would say I am in Houston. So I don't think English has a really super one-to-one mapping, except to use as a genitive noun, which is weird. And then, of course, you have Medus, ViaLatina, Tusculo. Well, okay, that's the ablative and the accusative. So that's different animal. So any other questions, comments? And be aware. Okay, Rome est at Rome. Tusculi est, that would be at Tusculum. Yeah, maybe at is a better way. But notice Roma Tusculum it. From Rome to Tusculum he goes. Keep in mind that the word order is flexible. Romam Tusculo it. These things, C and D, mean the exact same thing. From Rome. Well, I'm sorry, no, they don't. This is from Rome to Tusculum.
They're going in different directions.
Yeah, this is from Tusculum to Rome. But you can put, you don't always have to put the from and the to in this order. This is actually two. Well, this is the to and this is the from. I guess you could do that in English as well with the prepositions now that I think. Yeah, we need prepositions.
It's because Cornelius and Medus are not going in the same direction.
Yes. Yeah. All right, let's press on and read some more of this here. Let's see, what do we got next? Whoops, where's the end of this paragraph? There we go. By the way, there's Alex's Is Tusculi habitat. He lives in Rome. Sorry, Tusculum. I got Rome on the brain. So it doesn't have to be just with est. All right, who wants to take the next section?
I can give it a shot.
Go right ahead. Go for it.
Doing my best. Etiam Cornelius, amicus Iulii, in via Latina est inter Romam et Tusculum, onde venet Cornelius, est on Tusculo, sed Roma venet. Quo it. I keep wanting to make it a long
Yeah,
R.
I know. I slip that in every now and then myself. It.
Quo it, Cornelius
You're it.
non Romam. Yeah, I'm it.
Sorry.
It's okay. Fits my whole day. Cornelius non Romam sed Tusculum it. Roma post eum ante eum Tusculum est. Cornelius in equo est. Equus quid Cornelium vehet pulcher est. Iulius, I keep saying Iulius, but it's one thing. Iulius et Cornelius ad villas suas eum. Villa ubi Iulius habitat prope Tusculum est. Ubi habitat Cornelius is Tusculi habitat.
Very good. Okay.
So now we're introduced to a horse.
Yeah, this is the first time we've seen Cornelius. And there's okay. Now, Cornelius in equo est. Now, we always said Italia in Europa est. Italy is in Europe. I assure you, Cornelius is not in the horse. Okay. Otherwise, we would that would be the last we ever hear of him.
Well, can't that be translated on?
On, yes. And that is the other fun word or fun thing with the word in. If it is in plus an ablative, it can mean in, as in Italy is in Europe, or it can also mean on, as in Cornelius in equo est. Cornelius is on the horse. You see this to a certain extent in English. We can say the Azores are in the Atlantic. Cuba is in the Gulf of Mexico, right? Now, or the ship is in the water. Doesn't mean that inside, okay. It is just, even in English, the word in is a little bit flexible. Oh, I'm sorry. You're right, Ariana. Thank you. It's the Gulf of America now. How could I forget? Going to be a long time before I get that one consistent in my mind. Uh, Thank you. So anyway, so in plus an ablative means in or on, depending upon the sense of the word or the sense of the sentence. Equus qui Cornelium vehit pulcher est. Vehit. Well, no, I'm going to leave that alone for a moment. Let's see. Oh, yes, here it is. Is Tusculi habitat. There's again the locative. He lives in Tusculum. Let's see. There was something I wanted to say. Is this still? I think this is still being shared, isn't it? Yes, sorry. Close window. There we go. All right, hold on. Let me get my stuff lined up here. Okay. Where was it? Oh, equus qui Cornelium vehit pulcher est. Vehit means to carry, to bear, to convey. Often in a litter, like on the shoulders or by wagon or by horse. It's always in relationship to motion. Okay, I think that's everything in that paragraph. Is there anything I'm missing? Yeah, okay. Is non Tusculo sed Roma venit. He does not come from Tusculum, but from Rome. I think that's everything in there. Okay. Oops, how far do we have to go on this one? Wow, that's a long one. Okay.
Was that the first time we were introduced to the word quo?
Oh.
Well, it right where the cursor is.
Yes. Oh, have we done the? No, we've had the interrogatory pronouns like quis, que, quid. Yeah, we had quo.
Yeah.
On line 35, back up.
I'm getting there. Whoop, there it is. Yeah.
I think that was the first time it was introduced.
Oh, you know what that is? That's actually the dative. Well, actually, hold on. No. Is that, hold on. That may actually be an adverb form. Hold on.
Well, that's to where.
Yeah,
Does Julius go?
Yeah.
So with unde,
okay.
You've got from where and to where.
Yeah, this is actually an adverb. Okay. Now it happens to also be the dative or ablative of qui. We've had quis, etc. But as it stands there, it's actually an adverb. Where or to where is the best way to think
Well,
about it.
it's parallel with the previous sentence. that you have from where and then to where.
Right. Well, yes. Unde is also an adverb, which means from where, from whence. Yes, from whence Julius comes. From where is Julius coming? Op oppido venit, he is coming from the town. Quo it Julius, to where is Julius going? Ad vilam it. And this, yeah, it's you can think of this as an adverb.
Well, the point is you would not use ubi there, right?
No. Oh, good point. Yes, no. Ubi. Um, no, ubi is like yeah, ubi's well, actually, would you use ubi there?
Ubi means where, but
Yeah,
it doesn't mean to where.
it doesn't mean to where though. Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, if you look up in the dictionary. Oops, come on now. See if I can copy this and paste it in. There we go. There you go. To or in which place, whither, where, and the means both relative and interrogative. In this case, it's being used as an interrogative, as in where is he going? All right. So now we have a very long one. Who wants to take this long, very long section? It goes all the way down. Well, out there, I've got everything highlighted for the sake of by the way, over here, you've got Rome, locative, Tusculi, then Roma, Tusculum it, ablative, accusative, accusative, ablative. Fessus, tired.
Oh, that's just time.
So let's, who wants to take the next section, which is a long one?
I can take it.
Go ahead, Vince.
Iam Julius propebilum suam est. Servi qui lecticam portant feci sunt. Dominus autem fessus non est. Nam is non ambulat. Julius ab urso et davo portatur. Itaci is fessus non est. Feci sunt Cyrus et Leander nam I. Duos magnus sacos humeris portant. Neque vacui sunt saci.
Right.
Saci
Let's stop right there. You'll get to finish it up in a minute. Don't worry. Okay. Servi qui lecticam portant feci sunt. So we go back, whoops, we go back up here. These guys are tired. Feci, fessus. If you ever want to say you're tired, say fessus sum. Or if you're a female, say fessa sum. And that's because they're carrying it. Dominus autem fessus non est. That's, well, hey, he's not tired. What's the problem? And nam is non ambulat. By the way, ambulo means to walk. I may have been sloppy and used other words, but ambulo, ambulat really does mean to walk. This is the one I wanted to stop on. Julius ab ursu et davo portatur. Well, we've seen portat. We've seen portant. What is this portatur? And this is something called the passive voice. English Well, if you read certain books on writing English style, they don't like the passive to be used.
Mostly that's because it doesn't imply any responsibility. So it's not used in business writing,
Right.
like something should be done, but not by whom.
Yeah. Yeah.
Michael, is ob here by?
Yes.
Oh, are we talking about bears, by the way?
No, well,
Urso?
yes, his name is Bear. Okay.
No.
Ursus means bear. So yes.
Oh, right. The guy who was
So
carrying
he's
stuff.
he's Bear. Presumably he's a big guy.
Not
Yeah,
carried by
and
a bear.
and we'll get to the op in a minute. Okay. And the reason the op is there is because of the portatur. Portatur, as I said, is passive voice. So this sentence means Julius is being carried. Over here we have Julius ab urso et davo portatur means Ursus et Davus Julium portant. So we go from, okay, Ursus et Davus Julium portant means Ursus and Davus are carrying Julius. Straightforward, we've had that. This, on the other hand, is passive, and it says that Julius is being carried by Ursus and Davus.
Mm.
So this is the introduction of the passive voice. Latin uses it all over the place. Okay. It may be frowned upon in English. English uses it to a certain extent as well. And what it means is in English, or what the passive voice means, okay, what the active voice means is the subject is doing the action. I am reading, I am speaking, I am walking, I am carrying. The passive voice, the subject is not doing the action, but the action is being done to the subject. So I am being carried as opposed to I am carrying. So this sentence, Julius ab urso et davo portatur, means Julius is being carried by Ursus and Davus. The op, ops, and I'll get to that later, is who is doing the action. So unlike the indicative where the subject does the action to the direct object, it's the other way around, is the subject is being done the action by someone. Okay, in this case, Ursus and Davus. All right, let's continue on and we will come. Actually, hold on. Let me jump over. Sorry. Let me jump over to my, let's find it here. Hold on here. Find passive. Here we go. I think this is where I want it. What page is this? Oh, I don't have my page numbers. For shame. Okay. Oh, there it is. All right. We've had, whoops, let me go back one. Yeah, let me go back. Okay, here. All right. We haven't talked a whole lot about verbs. Verba Latina habent vocem, modum, temporum, et personam. Well, what does that mean? Well, okay. Person, third person singular, third person. Okay. Temporum is straightforward. That means time. So tempus fugit, time flies. Present, imperfect, future, perfect. Pluperfect, there we go. I had to remember the what the English word was, or future perfect. Briefly, well, we know what the present is, okay? I am walking. The imperfect would be I was walking. The future is I will walk. And the perfect is what's known as the past tense. I did walk or I walked. Right now, we've had all present tense. As I said, persona prima, secondo, aut tertia, singularis aut pluralis. We've stuck with generally speak. Well, we've had some of the second person view because we've had the imperative. The new one is vox, the voice, activa aut passiva, active or passive. And the active, as I said, means the subject is doing the action. The passive means the action is being done to the subject. So, let's skip that. Okay. Chapter 6 introduces the passive voice verbs. As I said, English has it. They're fewer and less often used. Active voice, as I said, means the subject is the doer of the action. Amelia vocat servos. Active voice. Passive voice means the verb is being done to the subject. Emilia vocatur a Julia. Emilia is being called by Julia. I think that's, let's see, hold on. Yeah, okay, here we go. Okay. So we've had vocat and vocant. That was active voice. So now we had vocatur and vocantur. So the vocat and the vocant are similar to the vocatur and the vocantur, but there's that UR ending or at the end, and that indicates the passive. And that's true for all four conjugations. We had videt, vident, he, she, it sees, they see, videtur, videntur. He, she, it is being seen or they are being seen. Clearly, those passive voice words are used by the influencers on the internet, right? They want to be seen. Ponit, he, she, it puts down or places. Poniunt, they put down or place. Ponitur, he, she, it puts down, or he, she, or it is being placed. Oh, whoops, hold on. I need a is being in here, which I did not put in. Let me get this in before I forget. There we go. Whoops. Only one E in being. Thank you very much. And then audit, audiunt, he, she, it hears, they hear. Auditur, he, she, it is being heard.
Is that supposed to be audiuntur?
Whoops, yes, it is. There it is. Audiuntur, they are being heard. You will see the passive voice all over the liturgy and all over scripture. Case in point is the confiteor, I confess. The first person singular passive ends in OR. So confiteor, we'll get some more into that. It's actually what's known as a deponent verb, but for now we'll just stick with
Whenever you see the UR.
Whenever you see the UR, it means the subject that's being done to the subject. So, and it doesn't matter which one it is. The only difference is, again, is the vowel. Vocat, videt, those are ERE verbs. Ponit, audit, etc. So let's go back to here. And Vince, you get to continue here.
Saki qui Asiro et Leandro, portantur magni magni sunt.
Mhm.
Sed sacus quem Cyrus portar non tam magnus est, quam sacus qui Aleandro portatur. Itaque Cyrus non tam fessus est, quam Leander. Cornelius non est fessus, nam is quo vehitur. Iulius lectica vehitur, servi ambulant. Domini vehantur, medus ambulant, nam is servus, est neque equum habet.
Okay. We got it all over the place here.
Yeah.
Okay. Sacchi portantur. The sacks carried. Oh, okay. Sorry. The sacks which are carried by Cyrus and Leander are large. So Sacchi,
Okay.
qui, which are carried by Cyrus and Leandro. This is again that ops is who is carrying the people that are carrying the persons that are carrying out the passive voice verb. So the sacks are being carried, and by whom? By Cyrus and Leander. Okay, sed sacus quem Cyrus portat non tam magnus est quam sacus qui a Leandro portatur. Notice how they switched. But the sack which Cyrus carries is not as big as that sack which is carried by Leandrus. So they go from an active to a passive. Itaqua Cyrus non tam fessus quam Leander. So Cyrus is not quite as tired as Leander because Leander's carrying the big heavy sack. In fact, you can kind of see that up there. Poor Leander there's got the bigger sack. Of course, I feel most sorry for Davos and Ursus because they have that whole mess they're carrying. Let's see. Cornelius non est fessus, nam is equo vehitur. Okay. So Cornelius is not tired. Nam is equo vehitur. Notice there is the ablative of instrument or the ablative of means. Cornelius is not tired, for he is carried, vehitur, by the horse. And this is another little gem. Notice Asiro et Leandro portantur. So carried by Cyrus and Leander. But equo vehitur. Cornelius is being carried by his horse. If it is a person, you use a or up. You use up if there is a vowel, because if you say a ursus, or a urso, that'd be kind of hard to say. So they will say up urso. And let's see. So if it is a thing, there's no a or up. If it is a person, then you need an a or an up. Julius lectica vehitur. Julius is being carried by his litter, I guess is or beer, I don't know, whichever one you like.
Yes.
Servi ambulant. The slaves are walking. Domini vehuntur. The masters are being carried. Medus ambulat nam is servus est neque equum habet.
Michael?
Yeah.
Can we go over this this business about when you're carried by a person, you have you have the preposition
Right.
if you're carried, because we're using the word portat or portant tour. But if you're carried or if you're carrying, if whatever it is that's doing the carrying is something other than a person, then you're likely to have the ablative of instrument and you don't
Right.
have the preposition.
Right. That is
Okay.
correct. You summarized it nicely. Yeah. I guess the best way to say this is equo vehitur. We see the ablative. We can think of ablative of instrument or ablative of means by means of. It's called by a couple of different things, depending upon whose book you read. He is being carried by means of his horse. Well, we don't say by means of. We would say he is being carried by his horse. And that would be for all non-people things. Okay. Horses, boats, cars, wagons, rocket ships, whatever, airplanes, whatever. But if it is a person or persons that is being carried by, or is the carrying out the action of the passive voice verb, then you must use a or up. And let's see, I don't think they have, well, no, they don't really mention it here.
That one letter makes all the difference.
Yeah. Now, in both cases, Equo, Lectica, Ciro, et Leandro, they are all ablative. But if it is a person, then it has to have an a or an op. And a, if it is a consonant, la a Ciro, or a Leandro. But if Julius was carrying, we would have to say op Julio, and that's because of the vowel in the front. Let's see, what time is it? Oh, 8:56. All right, we're gonna stop right there. Let's see, how much more do we have? Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. We will go through this again next week, okay? Read section 2 of this chapter again. If it helps, let's see, I don't think oh, okay. Okay, the Grammatica Latina will be of some help. Let's see, I don't think. Yeah, there's a few things they don't discuss in that I'll have to add to my notes. All right, but let's do it this way. Emilia Julium amat. Emilia loves Julius. Et op eo amatur. And she is loved or being loved
He is
by
loved.
him.
Oh,
But
by him. Okay. She
yeah,
is
op
loved.
eo is by
Okay.
him.
Yeah, got it.
Yeah, that's the is ea id. Eo is the
Right.
ablative form.
Yeah. Amateur refers to she is loved.
Yes, Emilia is the subject.
Mhm.
Pater et mater liberos amant, the mother and father love their children, et op iis amantur,
They are
and by them
okay.
are loved. And now, delectantur is not the delicto or the diligo, but rather delectable, as in pleasing. And we'll get to that form later. But anyway, yeah, go back and reread section 2. I don't think there's anything terribly, let's see here. Oh, this is where, okay, we do have the, oh, wait a minute. No, we get the, yeah, we get the locative down there. Yeah, reread the first one as well. It's not too bad. The biggie in this one is, whoops, here it is. Yeah, the biggie in this one, we pick up inter, between, but also prope. Ostia est prope Romam. Prope is near. And we have a procu. Yeah, here we go. Prope Romam, near to Rome. Procul ap Roma, far from Rome. And then you have the wonderful tam something est quam. As long, or sorry, ViaLatina non tam longa est quam means not as long as the Via Appia. In English, we would have as and as. In Latin, it is tam and quam are the two words that Latin uses for as. So, so do reread that, but focus on this second section, which has the locative, and it has the accusative for going to and the ablative for coming from, and it has the wonderful passive voice verbs, and you also have oh yeah, see Juli, oh there it is. See, Julius ap urso et davo portatur. So because urso is a vowel, they put the B in there just to make it easier to pronounce. Whereas if we jump down here, Asiro et Leandro is because that is a consonant. So that's cool. So, yeah, we're out of time. Any last minute questions on what to focus on for next time? And we will grind through some of this again next week and possibly even again the week after. Because it's not it's not terribly complicated, but there is a lot of detail in it. So, or at least I would say it's not complicated, just a lot of details in there.
It's probably pretty straightforward, but I was wondering about the declination of the adjective feci and fessus.
Yeah, okay. Fessus
I mean, it's probably pretty straightforward.
Yeah, no,
but
fessus is a US ending adjective. So fessus, fessa, fessum.
And then there was feci as well.
Right, right. Well, okay, it's declined just like a US noun or an A noun. A ending.
Okay.
Yeah, fessus, sum, I am tired. Fessa, sum, if I'm a woman, would be an A. And if I'm a eunuch, fessum, fessum sum. Yeah, a person would never say fessum sum. Yeah, that I don't know what, well, I don't know. Maybe somebody from the 21st century sent back to Rome might say that, but they get a lot of stares like, huh? So yeah, festus is just like our regular adjectives. Bonus, bona, bonum. Okay. I'm trying to think what other adjectives that we had. I'm
So
totally
you just
blanking.
decline them as a like nouns, basically.
Yeah, just like nouns. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Oh, latus. There was the other one. Latus.
Latus, yeah.
Latus sum. Julia lata est. And let's see what I'm trying to think. Oppida latum. The town is happy. Yeah, that might be the way of saying it. Latum. I was trying to think of a nice neuter noun, and I was totally blanking. So, yeah, read section 2 all the way to the end. And with that, we need to finish up. As I said, we'll go through this again. I know this one is challenging, and that's been noted by many of the teachers who have commented on the Familia Romana online and in a number of articles. So, all right, let's mute everybody and oremus. Let us pray. Precatio finalis, in nomine Patris, et Filii, et Spiritus Sancti. Amen. Ave Maria, gratia plena, Dominus tecum. Benedicta tu in mulieribus, et benedictus fructus ventris tui, Iesus. Sancta Maria, Mater Dei, ora pro nobis peccatoribus, nunc et in hora mortis nostrae. Amen. And with that, that is the official